When was the last time you raised your prices? Not tweaked them, not added a discount, actually raised them. I'm going to guess it's been a while, and I'm going to guess the reason is the same reason most operators give me. It's scary. But here's what nobody talks about. Undercharging isn't safe. It's just a slower way to lose. Today, we're talking about the psychology of wealthy buyers, what they actually want, why they spend without flinching, and how you can build your offer to attract them instead of chasing people who can't afford you. This one will change how you think about pricing. Let's get into it. Before we dive in, if you're building a business, running a team, or trying to scale something that actually lasts, hit subscribe. This isn't motivational content. This is operator thinking. The decisions, frameworks, and mindset shifts that separate businesses that scale from ones that just stay busy. Welcome to Notebook of a COO. There's a meme that's been floating around business circles for a while. The $500 client says, "I just feel like with this investment I'm making, you need to understand how much is riding on this. I need results. I'm trusting you with my livelihood." The $50,000 client says, "Money sent. Thanks." If you've been in business for any amount of time, you laughed because it's true. And the reason it's true isn't that rich people are easy. It's that they're buying differently. They're not buying deliverables. They're not buying your process. They're buying a feeling, a signal, an outcome, and they have the clarity to invest accordingly. The $500 client, that might be their last $500. Every dollar has to justify itself. That's not a knock. That's just the math. And when every dollar has to justify itself, you become the safest person to blame if it doesn't. That's not a customer relationship, that's a liability. So today, we're going to talk about how to stop building for the $500 client and start attracting the one who says money sent and actually means it. Here's the tension most operators live in. They want to grow revenue, but they're terrified to raise prices. So they do the thing that feels logical. Sell more volume, more clients, more offers, more work. And that works for a while. Walmart built an empire on it. Amazon did. McDonald's did. But there are three problems with the volume game that nobody tells you when you're starting out. One, it's brutally competitive. You are always one price cut away from losing a customer who chose you on price. Two, it demands operational perfection. The margin is thin, so every inefficiency is expensive. Three, even the companies that built empires on volume eventually moved upstream, because high margin is where businesses breathe. So what's the other path? Sell fewer, better things to people who can actually afford them. And before you tell me your industry doesn't work that way or your market won't support it, I want you to ask yourself a different question. Not, can I raise my prices, but do you actually understand what wealthy buyers are paying for? Because that answer might surprise you. Drop a comment right now. When was the last time you raised your prices? I actually want to know. Let's talk about the 5 things wealthy buyers actually purchase. This isn't about being flashy. This isn't about Birkin bags or private jets for the sake of it. This is about understanding the psychology of a buyer who doesn't have a price ceiling and designing your offer to speak their language. Let's go through them. 1. Status. Make me look important. This is the top of the pyramid. Status buyers are not looking for the cheapest option. They're not even looking for the best option in a traditional sense. They're looking for the option that signals something about who they are. Hermes understood this better than almost any brand on the planet. Limited production, handmade craftsmanship, years-long waiting lists for certain bags. You don't walk into a store and buy a Birkin. You earn the right to be offered one. That's not accident, that's engineering. So how do you position for status? Stop being the affordable option. Stop leading with, we're cost effective. Start positioning as the best, not the cheapest. When someone asks for a discount, the response isn't apologetic, it's confident. You could, but you'd probably regret buying from the alternative. Pay a pro now or pay twice later. Expertise, exclusivity, and premium service delivery. That's the language of the status buyer. 2. Convenience. Make my life easier. Here's the thing about wealthy people that most operators miss. They can buy almost anything, except time. Which means if you can give them back time, remove friction, eliminate hassle, handle the thing they dread, they will pay you for it almost without a ceiling. Delta figured this out. First class is nice, but the real spend is the concierge service. Someone who meets you at the curb, drives you to the gate, gets you on first. The seat is the same, the experience is completely different, and the price premium is enormous. Ask yourself, where's the friction in your service? What does your client have to think about, manage, follow up on, or worry about that you could remove entirely? That delta, no pun intended, is where your premium lives. White glove, concierge, done for you. Whatever language fits your industry, the offer is the same. I will handle this so completely that you never have to think about it. If you're in a service business right now, drop a comment. What would white glove look like in your world? I genuinely love to read those. 3. Exclusivity. Let me in, keep others out. This one is uncomfortable for a lot of operators because it goes against every instinct you've built. Your whole entrepreneurial career, you've been trained to sell more, reach more people, open the doors wider, lower the barrier, scale the acquisition. Exclusivity says the opposite. Restrict access, create tiers, make it harder to get in. There's an organization called Tiger 21. To join, you need $20 million in verified net worth. You pay $30,000 a year, and they will not let you in until they've confirmed you've actually got it. You're not just paying for the content, you're paying to be in a room with only other people like you. And the fact that most people can't get in is the product. Now, your business isn't Tiger 21, but the principle applies everywhere. Invite-only services, application-based onboarding, VIP tiers with genuine differentiation, wait lists that are real, not manufactured. When something is exclusive, demand goes up, not despite the restriction, because of it. 4. Privacy. Give me space. As people accumulate wealth, something else accumulates with it. Exposure, attention, people wanting things from them, and what they'll pay for, sometimes more than anything else, is discretion. Think about what that looks like in a service business, a cleaning company that only works with high-end clients. Every team member signs an NDA. Client preferences are documented and honored without the client having to repeat themselves. Communication is handled exactly the way the client requested. Nobody talks about what they see inside those homes. Nobody posts anything. Nobody asks questions. That level of discretion builds a loyalty that no discount ever could. These clients don't leave because trust, once established at that level, is irreplaceable. And here's the operator truth. This costs you almost nothing to offer. You're not adding a product, you're adding a standard. And that standard is what the premium is built on. 5. Scarcity. Make it hard to get. The last one is the most counterintuitive. Scarcity isn't about lying to your customers. It's not fake countdown timers or manufactured urgency. It's about genuinely limiting what you offer and letting that limitation create demand. Wealthy buyers want to be among the few who got access. They want the story. They want to say they were there, or they have the thing, or they got in before it closed. Waiting lists, premium tiers, applications that actually filter, a cap on clients that you actually honor. When something is scarce, truly scarce, not performatively scarce, it becomes a signal. And wealthy buyers collect signals. They're not price sensitive, they're value sensitive. And scarcity is value when you understand how they think. Here's the operational takeaway. For your offer to land with a wealthy buyer, it needs to hit at least 2 of these 5 categories. Selling convenience, layer in exclusivity. Selling status, add scarcity. Selling privacy, wrap it in convenience. Not because you're manipulating anyone, but because the offer needs to be complete. Wealthy buyers have options. They will only choose you if the value is multidimensional. So go look at your offer right now. Honestly, which of these 5 does it actually hit? If the answer is 0, you need to rethink the positioning, not the price. If the answer is 1, you have a starting point. Add 1 more layer, start there. If the answer is 2 or more, you have the foundation. Now go and find the buyers who are looking for exactly that. Let me land this with the real point. 9 out of 10 small businesses are undercharging. Not because their service isn't worth more, not because the market won't support it, but because they're positioning for price-sensitive buyers and then wondering why every client feels like a negotiation. Rich people want to be sold to. They are actively looking for operators who are worth the premium. Your job isn't to convince them you're worth it. It's to position so clearly that the right buyer sees themselves in your offer immediately. Status, convenience, exclusivity, privacy, scarcity. Pick 2, build around them, and raise your prices. If this episode made you think differently about your pricing or positioning, share it with one person in your world who needs to hear it. And subscribe, because we're building here. Slow, clean, and on purpose. Wherever you are, that is exactly where you are supposed to be. But that does not mean you have to stay there. Until next time.